my name is Alejandra Landano and welcome to my YouTube channel. On this channel, you find lots of videos specifically about teaching and working online from home. So today I am bringing you another OutSchool video. In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how I create an OutSchool class. I have started creating many different types of classes because I'm still trying to find my niche and I'm really still trying to find out what classes I really enjoy teaching, what classes book really well, what classes just thrive. So to begin, I like to write things down by hand. So I have a handy dandy notebook here and some markers. I don't know, I guess I'm just really a teacher. I love to write with markers versus pen and pencil. So those are my supplies, and I am actually going to take you on the computer a little bit and I'm going to show you how I plan an OutSchool class. Okay, so I am on my computer. I'm actually just going to open up the OutSchool website. I'll go to Teach and I'm going to go to my classes and I'm going to add a class. And I'm trying to think of classes that I want to create specifically about math. So I'm just going to have the title math right now. I can definitely change that later. Oh, it won't let me. Kindergarten math. And then hit next. All right. And what I want to look at here is the subject. So I have many subjects here. So the first step, obviously, and I've kind of already picked mine, but the first step is to pick a subject. So I am going to write that down just so I know. The first thing I like to do is pick the subject I want to teach and the age range I'm planning on teaching. So today I want to plan a math lesson that's at kindergarten level. So it will probably be ages 5 to 6. I haven't really decided yet. So I'm just going to write that stuff down on my paper and I'm going to start my research. The third step I like to do is to start picking a specific topic in my subject area, I guess you could say. I live in Florida, so I like to go to the Florida website, cpalms.org, and this has all of the standards for Florida teachers. And I like to look at this to help me pick a good learning objective. So I am a Florida teacher. I hit kindergarten. And as I said, I want it to be a math class. So I'm going to hit math and I'm going to look at all of the different standards to give me some ideas as to what I want my math class to be specifically about. So I'm going to read through these for a few. So let's do this one. I found a different one, I think. Represent addition and subtraction with objects, fingers, mental images, drawings, sounds, acting out situations, verbal explanations, expressions, or equations. So I found a standard I kind of like that I think I could create a good class on. So with this standard, I'm going to create a specific lesson objective or goal. For example, my objective could be students will be able to represent addition using manipulatives, or students will be able to represent subtraction using drawings, or students will be able to represent addition using sounds. So I'm creating a very specific lesson objective that I want my students to meet or accomplish at the end of my class. Okay, so I wrote down my notes. The next thing I'm going to do is to research activities. Now, I research activities by looking at CPALMS again, cpalms.org. I'll look at Teacher Pay Teachers and look at different resources other teachers have made, and I will also look on Pinterest. So I'm going to start doing that, and I just write down all the ideas that I like. Keep in mind that if you do want to use anyone's resources, for example, on Teacher Pay Teachers, I recommend you reach out to that teacher first before you make the purchase, explain that you want to use it on OutSchool, and then see if they allow that or not. So just make sure you're getting permission if you do use any of the resources you find online. For example, I'm reading this and I'm seeing different ideas I like. For example, this one says eating Cheerios may be fun. So maybe something with food. I'm going to write down food. Doing math with food is kind of fun. That's a good idea. This one has a good idea too. It says 5 little ducks, decomposing number 5. So maybe doing some sort of poem with like 10 little piggies on your feet, 5 little ducks, some sort of poem. That would be a good idea too. All right, and I'm gonna go on to teachers, pay teachers. And I am gonna type in, I feel like I'm gonna focus on addition for this one. So I'm going to just type in addition. And I am gonna click kindergarten on the side. And I'm just gonna see what comes up. All right, so I'm gonna keep looking. As I said, I look at teachers pay teachers, I look at CPOMs, and I look at Pinterest. Those are my favorite, but there are probably tons of other things. You can look at people's blogs, you can look at Instagram, just to get idea. And I write down the ideas just so I don't copy someone else's idea exactly. So like for right now, I have written down food, like doing using food as a manipulative would be good. I have using a poem, so some sort of story to go with my math would be good. I have making an ice cream, so I'm just writing my ideas down to get my mind thinking. And I haven't found any teacher pay teacher sources I really liked yet, but like I said, I'm just looking right now. And I'm gonna spend about 10 to 15 minutes just looking at different resources, different ideas, think about the things I've done in the classroom, stuff like that. So I'm gonna keep doing that now. So all I've done so far was write down my ideas. I honestly didn't write down too many. I feel like usually I write down a little bit more, like 7 to 9. But I have about 5, 6 different things here. So what I'm gonna do now is try to plan out my class. So, as I said, I'm gonna write everything down that I kind of plan on actually doing in my class. So, number 1, I always introduce myself first and go over the class rules. So I'm gonna write that down, introduction and class rules. After we introduce ourselves, I plan on introducing addition in some way. And I am still thinking about this, so I am debating between introducing addition through a PowerPoint, a small discussion with the class, or some sort of poster. So that would be the next part of my class. Okay, and after our introduction, I will probably pick an activity to actually do with my class. So I wrote down a bunch of activities, and I haven't decided which one I like yet, but I will pick an activity to do with the students that will be for about 10 to 15 minutes. After the 10 to 15 minute activity, I plan on doing a review activity. I'm still thinking about this as well, whether we do like a game or we create something just as a review and to see if the students were able to meet the lesson objective. Then obviously we will conclude the lesson and say goodbye. And I just write all of this down. This is a very rough lesson plan, but I basically have an idea of how I want my class to run. Here is a quick review from this video. So this is a good page to take a screenshot from this video, but basically how I create my lesson plan. Step number 1, I pick a subject or topic. This can be very broad: math, art, music. Pick a subject. Number 2, pick an age range. What age do you want to teach? Number 3, you pick a very specific topic, or you create a class objective. So this means your class is more specific. If I'm doing math, it's not all about math, it's something specific. Students are going to learn to add between numbers 1 to 10, something very specific. Step number 4, you're going to do some research. And remember, I love to research using CPOMs, Teachers Pay Teachers, and Pinterest, but you can use other sources, whatever you like to use to research and get ideas. And obviously, if you find a resource you actually want to use in the classroom, make sure you get permission from that individual. Explain that you're working for OutSchool and you would love to use their resource in your classroom. So get permission. You'd rather be safe than sorry. Finally, step 5, you plan your class. But up this video. I hope you found it just a little bit helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!